You win, but I know.
She was hyper. She's like,
Hobbes and Locke is up.
Hobbes and Locke, and then we're finished. Hobbes.
Oh, I have
Are you giving us ride home?
No, Hobbes. Yeah, I'll tie you to the top of the roof. Hobbes.
Women are evil.
Let's start at the beginning. Galileo, Newton, Copernicus, all of them. All of those rocks scientifically dropping caused ripples in Hobbes' mind that said this. You know what? I'm persuaded there's no God. Hobbes was an atheist. There's no God. If there's no God, there's no soul. We're animals. We're not God's creations, we're animals. We're natural. We're like everything else. It's a modern worldview. Here we are in the modern...
Therefore, we are bad.
No God, no soul. Hobbes had enough evidence. So what does that mean? What is human nature now? Traditionally, we were told that human nature is sinful because Adam and Eve disobeyed God and ate the apple.
No.
So you would think that Hobbes would say, oh, nature's good. But no, Hobbes said nature is not good. Inductively, what was Hobbes' evidence?
Before.
Inductively means he saw it. He observed something. Specific examples. Human nature. What evidence, when you look around and think clearly about what you see, about human behavior, are you going to say humans are good at bottom, or are they wicked?
Well,
both is a really interesting answer. How many of you think wicked? We're more good than evil.
me.
More good than evil. How many of you think we're more evil than good?
Evil.
How many of you think that
They are dying.
it's not a good question? Why isn't it a good question?
It's hard to answer.
Yeah.
It is hard to answer.
That's why
Because
it's
each
bad.
person is different.
Yeah,
Because each person is different.
I think we're teamed after
we're separate.
burn.
We're tamed.
Yeah.
Maybe we're mixed too.
Everybody's unique. Half and half.
No one is same.
All right.
But generally.
But Hobbes thought that we, being animals, are wicked. Not wicked, violent, aggressive. And think of the playground when you were in elementary school. Who was the person that was the biggest jerk on the playground?
The biggest one.
The biggest one!
Yeah.
Right? The bully, the biggest one.
Yeah.
And Hobbes thought the same thing. Before there was a government, if God didn't make us, we've been around a long time. And remember, the explorers had been to Africa, Pacific Islands. They had seen like primitive tribes. And Hobbes knew about this. So there was evidence that we didn't always have civilized cities and all that sort of thing. So Hobbes says that before we had governments, we were just a bunch of wicked animals, like children on the playground without the teacher there to say, hey, bully, stop that. Come on, that was a joke. Come on. Okay, thank you. Let's try that again. Okay, everybody? All right. Okay.
So he said we need a pope, right?
I don't have a tissue. Go to the bathroom. So Hobbes pictured, since we are natural, since the universe is material, physical, and natural only, that before we were civilized, we existed as humans in a state of nature. There was no law, there was no leader, there was nothing. We were just running around like a bunch of dogs.
Before what?
Or a bunch of horses.
Before civilization?
Before civilization, before government.
Before government.
And because of that,
Before government, we were animals.
that was scary.
I was going to say that.
It was violence.
Okay.
Nasty, violence.
You know what a brute is?
brute? 1 star.
A brute is like a gorilla, just this big, stupid, mean thing. Don't be a brute. You see somebody picking on somebody else, some bully, don't be a brute.
Yeah, he pick on me.
Picks. One suck, don't be a brute.
No.
Okay, so he said, John, come back, come back. Well, you don't have your funny glasses anymore. I was going to borrow them and wear them. All right.
Oh, that's why he looked different.
Okay, so Hobbes said this. Shut up, John. Hobbes said life was nasty, brutus, and short. Picture the playground being a place where no teacher, principal, or anybody else, only bullies, who will kill you. They won't just beat you up, they'll kill you. If you have what they want, and if they want to kill you, and they can, because they're stronger than you.
Kids don't kill.
And that's why a lot of people disagreed with Hobbes. We're not... You have no proof of this, Hobbes. You have an assumption. You're being sort of
That's
deductive
Locke.
here. That's Locke. Okay. And because of this, Hobbes said, now again, now we're going to get into politics. The European thought of politics. The church. What did the church teach about leaders of governments of countries since Charlemagne? Since Charlemagne, what did the church teach about political leaders? Key idea for your timeline, Charlemagne, that's why he's there. It's very important. The church... Huh?
Converted. No.
Charlemagne converted everybody, and the Pope did what? Because Charlemagne converted... Crowned him king. The Pope speaks for God. The Pope crowns somebody else king, and so that means God wants you to be king. You are king by divine right. You have the right to be king because God wants you to be. So if anybody else says you shouldn't be king, the king can say, oh yes I should, God wants me to be. The Pope says so. Well, if Hobbes doesn't believe in God, you would think that he would say kings, there should not be like this absolute ruler, like a king. But Hobbes said that because we're bad, we still need an absolute ruler. Not because of what the church teaches, but because we are brutes.
Was he pessimistic?
He was pessimistic. And so he said, in order to make the playground more pleasant, people got together and made a social contract.
Social contract. The right to violence.
And in that social contract, we said, we need a strong leader, one person, who will organize things to keep people from making life nasty, brutus, and short.
That's the social contract?
That's the social contract. Because life would be so horrible without an absolute ruler that we would regret it. So we give up our right to be free. We give up our right to rebel because we want security from this dark nature of ours. And if we ever lose a king and things become unstable, all of these dark forces in us will be released and we'll regret it. So even if the king is bad, he still should rule because it's better than instability, disorder. That's the social contract. Everybody in society, not really, but like signing a contract where you agree something, they all agree. For us to have more safety, we agree that there should be one person above us who absolutely rules us. All right? Does that make sense?
See. Sure.
Bueno.
Sure.
Oui, oui.
Bon. Huh?
That's very good.
Very good.
Wow.
We're almost finished.
We need to do that.
So Hobbes says this. Hobbes says this. We have no right to rebel. We have no right to rebel. Even if the king is a jerk, we have no right to rebel.
So he didn't rebel to the Pope?
Pope's not a king anymore.
Oh.
Since Charlemagne, there were like kings.
Then who had the power that Hobbes, that social contract?
The any sort of authority, any king.
It was just a theory.
Again, the question is now political. It's another ripple in European intellectual history. Politics aren't politics because of what the church says anymore. So what should political truth be based on? How can we know the truth? This was his way of saying what the truth is, without church authority to define whether we should have a leader, unchallenged leader, right? Absolute leader. Okay, Locke, we're almost finished. I don't want to see that when do you realize what I'm going to see when I watch this? Scary, and I have a scary face. I have learned this. Dark eyes.
No, like people say you look like Jesus.
Oh my God, you do!
Oh
my God.
Like even though we don't know Jesus, like the image of Jesus looks like you.
Okay, cut.
That is so.
My grandma thought you were Jesus.
Thought you
I
are.
heard grandma.
Okay, I have a secret to tell you.
You look like Italian.
I'm back. I'm back.
I'm back.
So you're.
All right, quiet. Let's do Locke.
Italian.
Locke disagreed with Hobbes. But Locke's question again was, how do we know?
Capital K.
When I don't know if you're old enough yet to understand how cool all of this stuff is. But by the time you hit college, I hope you take a philosophy class. Because that's what we're doing. John, I'm about to throw you out the window. That's what we're doing. We're studying.
Why always me?
We're studying philosophy because it is always you.
Oh, I see.
Here's the question, how do we know? How do we know? Authority can't tell us anymore. So how can we know that we know?
Think.
How do we, okay, John, you ever seen a spoon in a glass of water? Put a spoon in a glass of water and leave.
Tilted.
Yeah. So your eyes are telling you that that spoon is
Tilted.
bent.
Yeah, bent.
Well, if you base what you know on what you see, is the spoon bent?
No.
No.
Oh, so our senses trick us.
Yes. Illusion.
Okay, so what do we need besides what our senses tell us? Does that mean that everything we see is not true?
No.
Okay, so what do we need?
Knowledge.
Knowledge is the question.
Proof. Right, Eureka.
Proof, experience.
Question.
What is our proof that the spoon is not bent?
We take it out and then
We take it out. That only means that it unbends when we bring it out.
You feel it.
Oh,
Do you feel it? Oh, that's good.
But you still have the senses.
I'm getting too excited about that.
No, but then you said your
Relax,
senses
Mr.
trick us.
Down, boy, down.
Whoa.
The senses trick us,
But
but
if you feel it, then there's senses.
You use all of the four senses.
4.
5.
You got 5.
Five.
Okay.
6.
All right.
Six.
Quick review on the 5 senses: seeing, smelling, hearing, tasting,
There's
touching.
I'm seeing ghosts.
six.
Okay.
Observe.
I'm losing concentration.
We're almost
Me
finished.
too.
We're almost finished.
Because I'm so hungry. Gave you it.
I'm starving, huh?
Really?
Yes.
So full.
I'm so full.
Okay, you guys don't eat, okay?
I'll eat all of it. Eng?
What? Did you guys?
Fine.
Okay, listen. Let's finish this. I want to be done with this in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay. You guys are going to be so impressive when you get into higher levels and start writing like AP exams and such. When you throw around ideas like the tabula rasa.
Oh, did you? Oh, I know what.
What's that?
It's a Latin word. Tabula means table or more like slate, like writing surface. Tablet.
Rasa? I don't know Rasa.
Rasa. Erased.
The table erased.
Erased tablet. There's nothing on, we know nothing when we're born. We know absolutely nothing when we are born. We come into this world with zero knowledge.
Is that what Locke?
And experience writes knowledge onto our minds. Figuratively. Alright? What we are told by authorities, blah, 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 blah. Right? That's what experience does. Is it knowledge? No, but that is how we get our opinions about what knowledge is, by what we are told. Our slate is written on. If you're in India, your slate is Hindu. If you're in China, your slate is Confucian. If you're in Europe, your slate is Christian.
Is instinct knowledge? Like,
Instinct isn't knowledge. Instinct is
I'm like.
anger, violence.
And like breathing. Is breathing?
No, that's biology. That's not
What
knowledge.
emotions?
Emotions? Emotions are biology too. They're not knowledge. Look, anger isn't truth. Truth is like true. It's like it's something that's always
There.
right.
Yeah, we can't control it.
It says something is true. Anger is just a feeling. It's not a fact. Truth is fact. All right, so, and clearly, we have seen since the Renaissance that so much that has been written on that blank slate, that tabula rasa, and accepted as knowledge wasn't. The earth isn't the center of the universe. It's not flat. Yada, yada, yada. So how can we know anything? We observe. Blah, 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 blah. I can see all this stuff. I can see it. Through our 5 senses. But the spoon is bent in the water. Now, as Michelle said, you use another sense, and you can feel the spoon while you're looking at it bent. You can feel it in the water and feel that it's straight. That's interesting. That's interesting. You make a good scientist, right? Because you're using another sense for more evidence when you're unsure. But the other thing that Locke says is really important is reflecting on your experience. And that's why we had you guys write reflective pieces. In the English class, that's why I'm asking you to like reflect on all this stuff. That's why this essay for your history exam is asking you to reflect about it all. To actually like think about it. Not just memorize it, think about it. Think about it.
There's too much to think.
Shut up. So,
What if?
Are you okay?
What if?
Speak.
so
Isn't our essay to summarize everything?
to summarize everything. So when we reflect on all this, then we start clearing away things that we don't know. We observe, we sense, and then we think.
We don't have enough time in our final.
5 minutes. Oh yes, you do. Look, you'll be able to do that timeline. I warn you, you should be able to do that timeline in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You should be able to do the maps in 5 minutes. You should be able to do the IDs really in 5 minutes. That's 15 minutes. That means you have an hour and 10 minutes or so to write the main ideas of the Renaissance, Reformation.
Identifications are so hard.
No, they're not.
They are.
So Mr.
80 and only.
Listen, the identifications are there because that's all the data you will use for your essay. Knowing all that stuff, you just put it in your essay.
Are you gonna draw the roots and then we just label it?
No, we have to draw the root.
Or the essay.
Wait, it's like it's.
No, what about?
Okay, let me finish, Locke.
Okay.
We're not done.
Nature.
He says human nature is naturally good. He disagrees with Hobbes. Maybe he's observed and said, wait, I don't see people like in Pacific Islands running around killing each other. I don't see the people in grass skirts all like living nasty, brutish, and short lives. They're in their coconut groves, fishing on the beach. They get along. Why are you saying we're like demons or monsters? Kill, murder, murder. We're not brutes. We're naturally good. And by the way, Locke was a Christian. It's just that authority, there's no evidence for it, so he was more concerned with, call him a Christian humanist, with what we can know, capital K know. So he says that we're naturally good. Because of that, nobody is better than anybody else. Life will not be nasty, brutish, and short without a king. And so, I'm getting tired too now. I'm starting to lose focus too.
Let's play.
Hold on, no, I can finish this. I can finish this.
Let's get dinner. I heard your finger crack.
Okay,
Did he say that authority is bad?
I'm about to answer that. All right, so Locke said this. We were all born here with good natures. Therefore, naturally, we all have rights. We all have rights. We all have rights. Again, like gravity, you're like, oh, big deal, we all have rights. Oh, big deal, gravity. No, this was a big deal, because this is the first time anybody said, you know what, if we were all born naturally, we're all equal.
Was he a Renaissance man? When was he?
Oh, he's the Enlightenment, 1700. And because we were all born with the same good nature, we're all equal. Now, some of us grow into better people than others because we are more educated, we are wiser, our blank slate has not been filled with bad, false things. We know the truth, and the truth guides us to be better, yada, yada, yada. But because we're naturally good, an assumption, there's no evidence, I guess there is, we have rights. We're equal. So nobody should be put over us in a social contract. Do you need to go outside? Nobody should be put over us in a social contract the way Hobbes argued.
Oh.
Instead, yes, we need a government, and yes, we all agree that we need a government. But that government should be overthrown if it interferes with these three things. Our rights to life. If the government says it should kill me, and I've done nothing wrong, the government's wrong, because I have the right to live until I naturally die. So I have a right to life. No leader can take that away from me. I have a right to liberty, freedom to do what I want to do. Since we can't know moral truth, since we can't know absolutely, nobody can prove mathematically that drinking is a sin, or that not drinking is good, or whatever. And again, I'm not saying let's be an alcoholic. I don't know why I chose drinking as an example. Eating good food. If nobody can prove that eating good food, loving good food, which used to be thought of as a sin, is a sin, I'm talking about food, unless it's not cold. And I saw that on the camera, I'm going to be so embarrassed. Then the government should have no right to say, you cannot do what you think is good. The government has no right to get in the way of my freedom to live what I think is a good, pleasant life. And finally, property. The government has no right, just like the bully on the playground, to come and grab something that's mine. We all have our stuff, and the government should leave it alone. The king should leave it alone. And if kings do anything against that, if they start taking our stuff unfairly, if they start saying that we can't do things that aren't hurting anybody else. Now, if I hurt somebody else, I'm like the bully on the playground. Locke agrees with Hobbes on that. People who are antisocial, that's why we need government. To arrest them, and if they're like murderers, you got to kill them.
He's more logical.
Well, he said we have right to life.
Unless we violate somebody else's right to life by killing them.
If we don't have
So if I die,
it's okay.
If we don't interfere with other people, if we are all socially harmonious, and we don't keep people from living their life as long as they should, from doing what they want to do freely, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else, and from taking their property, then we're all okay.
Did Hobbes and Locke live at the same period of time?
They did, yeah. Locke was disagreeing with Hobbes. He wrote his book disagreeing with Hobbes. And so here is the perfect place to end, because we're going to stop here with this thought. Locke said this: we have the right to rebel. If a government, there's no God saying that kings should be kings, leaders should be leaders. It's a natural arrangement. It is a contract. But the leader can break that contract because he owes us these things. We're equal. We let him lead us because he honors these things. If he doesn't, we can overthrow him. The year is 1700. John, let me finish. The year is 1700. In 89 years, in 1789, the French people, because of Locke's idea, no, in 76 years, the American people, because of Locke's idea, will rebel against the British because they say the British are getting in the way of their right to property, their right to be free. And then the French will take their king, 1776, 1789, 13 years later, the French will take their king who says, I have the right, their king, I have the right to rule because, the king, the French king says, I have the right to rule because, huh?
Chosen.
By,
God.
I have divine right. Kings are still saying this. These guys are, again, humanists, critical thinkers, arguing against it, thinking for themselves, using some of the insights of science. And the French people take their king who says, I'm here because God chose me. I have the right because God wants me to be king. The French people took their king, led him into the center of Paris, put him up on a stage and chopped off his head. Because they said, he is interfering with our life, our liberty, and our property. This is the beginning of the next chapter, semester 2. French Revolution and revolutions around the world. Because these ideas will spread around the world.
When was the French time?
French Revolution, 1789. But that's second semester. That's just like looking forward. Because again, it's all one story. And the story continues. But here's where we stop for semester exam. Any questions before we... Hold on, because this... Questions now, quickly.
For the essay, on the conclusion, we have to write about what we generally see the world.
So is it our opinion?
No, we summarize in the opinion.
Yeah, just your conclusion, you just make sense of it. Because what do we have here? We have, hey, Ilwan, John, what do we have? We have two conflicting sources of authority. Again, I think I drew it on the board at the beginning of the year.
Hebrew and
One eye, the
One
Hebrew.
Hebrew and
One eye, the Greek, which is the humanist.
I have it.
And here we are. How do you make sense of it? How do you make sense of it? There's no right answer to that.
Oh,
Yeah.
for map 1, how do we do it? The Roman, Byzantine.
I'll give you 3 maps of the borders of 3 empires. You will label the maps.
And for map 3, we have to draw.
So like this, and then you're gonna just tell us we have to write what.
I will give you a map that has the outline of the border of that empire, and you will put the label. If it's the
Either
Byzantine Empire, you will put the Byzantine Empire.
Muslim or Spanish? No
Yeah.
Muslim.
But there's
By the way, the Spanish Empire is North and South America. I'm sorry, Mexico and South America, right?
there's 4 maps, right?
A possible total of 4. Yeah.
For the explorer Zheng He.
Zheng He, the Chinese explorer.
Yeah, he went. You said he went to the islands, like underneath, like
From China,
Philippines,
from
China to India,
Beijing
to
to
Africa,
Southeast Asia to India to Arabia to Africa.
and then he went back, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some people think that he actually went and discovered America.
Can you repeat that?
So what do we say? Southeast.
That's on the first page.
China, Beijing. What?
China, Beijing, India.
Beijing, Indonesia,
Okay.
India.
Yeah, it's just like this.
Okay. Anything else?
Indonesia.
What
How about
about
map 3?
No,
What is map 3?
In class, you said you'll tell us whether you're going to draw the map or we have to draw them.
we just draw lines.
You draw the lines of the basic route. Columbus left Spain and he went to America. You can draw the Caribbean islands. You can draw that line. Yeah. You have to what? You don't have to make the borders. For the European maps, you will have a For the European maps, you'll have a blank map. It'll have numbers on every country, but I will just choose like 10 numbers from the numbered map for you to write the name of that country.
Only Europe?
No, same with the Middle East, North Africa. All right. I don't know.
Oh, America went to Columbus.